Hello, my name is Faith Gernhardt. I'm a fiber arts enthusiast. Now we're ready to actually tat Martha's Snowflake. Again, the URL where you can find this free pattern is hhtatting.com/free-patterns, all lowercase. Martha's Snowflake has two different kinds of instructions on the page: the written instructions and the charted instructions. Each has their own legend. Many times you'll find a pattern that has just written instructions. The legend for those instructions are either with the pattern, or if it's a booklet, they'll be at the beginning. Or sometimes you'll find just a chart. And every once in a while, like Martha Snowflake, you find both. This is a really nice combination, because if there's anything in the pattern that you don't understand, or there's a mistake in the pattern, you can refer to the chart. So I have enlarged the chart so that it's easier to see what's going on. And you can see the legend: a circle is a ring, an arch is a chain, a dash is a picot. We have joining picots, we have decorative picots. Round 1 is in purple, round 2 is in blue. This is the legend for the written instructions. Ring and chain method beginner. Materials: Elizabeth thread size 10, number 159 Easter eggs. This is the color that the artist used in the sample. A tatting needle or 2 tatting shuttles. Definitions of abbreviations: R is a ring, LR is a large ring, CH is a chain, a dash or P is a picot, a plus is a join, CL is a close, RW means reverse work, DNR means do not reverse. And now we have the actual instructions. Anytime you're following the instructions by an artist or an artisan, you want to read them first and make sure there's nothing there that you don't understand. If you have something you don't understand, then you want to look it up before you get to it. So this is round 1. It consists of a round of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of 2 double stitches and 5 picots. Close, and then reverse the work. Then do a chain of 3 sets of 4 double stitches with 2 picots between, and then reverse the work. And then here's the asterisk, that is the beginning of a repeat, down to the asterisk that is the end of the repeat. Notice this first ring has no joins in it. When we get to the second ring, which is repeated 3 times, we do 2 double stitches, a picot, 2 double stitches, join to the second to the last picot of the previous ring, 2 double stitches, 2 picot, 2 double stitches, picot, 2 double stitches, picot, 2 double stitches. Close the ring, reverse our work, do a chain of 3 sets of 4 double stitches with 2 picots between, then reverse our work. So we're going to do this section 4 times. Once we've done that, we have a total of 5 rings, and we're going to do our last ring, which has 2 joins. The 2 double stitches, picot, 2 double stitches, join to the second picot of the previous round, 2 double stitches, picot, 2 double stitches, join to the second picot of the first ring made. 2 double stitches, picot, 2 double stitches, close, reverse work, and then make a chain of 3 sets of 4 double stitches with 2 picots between. Now, looking at the chart, we see this first ring with its 5 picots and 2 double stitches each side, the chain of 3 sets of 4 double stitches with 2 picots between. Then the second ring, see the picot is actually joining. The third ring joins the picot. The fourth ring joins the picot. The fifth ring joins 1 picot. The sixth ring joins the second picot and the second picot of the first ring. And then we have our final chain, and then we tie, hide, and cut. So we're going to do this first round. I'm going to use green and yellow thread. That way you can see the interchange that happens as we go from ring to chain, whether we're reversing our work or not reversing our work. I'll start with the green to make our first ring. So that's one, two, picot, 1, 2, second picot, 1, 2, third picot, 1, 2, fourth picot, 1, 2, fifth picot, 1, 2, we close the ring, and I support the ring while I'm closing it to avoid causing these either stitch at either end of the ring to tighten up on me before I want to get there. That thread's just determined to get in the middle of the thread. Now our instruction says to reverse the work. When you reverse your work, you turn it upside down. Watch it again. Our work is here. We turn it upside down. What was pattern will become core. What was core, if I were doing a chain, would become pattern. See how that thread now wants to be on the bottom. And that means that we're going to take our other thread is going to become our pattern for the chain. Wrap it around our hand and then around the little finger because it is a chain, not a closed ring. Wind that up until it's comfortable, and we're going to do 4 double stitches, picot, 4 double stitches, picot, 4 double stitches. Pull that stitch in nice and tight so that you don't get a gap between one element and the next. Now, if you drop your work like this, what you want to remember is your pattern is on the top, your core is on the bottom. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. The first of 2 picots. 1, I need to get myself some more working space, so I unwind around my little finger, spread my hands, let that bobbin hang down there to provide weight as well, be out of the way. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, second picot, 1, 2, now I don't know if you can actually see this, but I did not pull my stitch up well, and my core has actually made a stitch around, made a half hitch around my pattern. That's going to prevent it, so I'm going to pull it so that it snaps into place. Make sure I can move it. Now my stitch is around the core. That's 2, 3, 4. So I have 3 sets of 4 double stitches with 2 picots. And then I reverse the work. Turn it upside down. My core becomes my pattern. And I'm going to take my chatelaine and tuck that extraneous bobbin, currently extraneous bobbin, out of my way. And now I do the first of the repeat sections, so I'll be joining to the second to last picot. Coming around, pinching, and with this ring, my first stitch, if I actually place it virtually on top of that chain, it will prevent me from having a gap between those 2 pattern elements. That's 1, 2, picot, 1, 2, join. I have my crochet hook, come in from the top, through my picot, grab my pattern, pull it back through, make a loop, watching that this loop does not twist. You may see me when I'm working faster, stick it over a finger in order to prevent it from being twisted. Bring the core up from the bottom, through the loop, pull the core taut, work the pattern up, and that's the first half of the stitch. Drop the core to the front, come from behind. That's the second half of the stitch. That's 1, 2, and I've made 2 picots because that join counts as a picot. So there's the third picot, 1, 2, the fourth picot, 1, 2, the fifth picot, 1, 2, close my ring, nice and snug, reverse my work, turn it upside down. My green pattern is now my core thread, and my yellow, that ring wasn't closed real well. I could see a gap in here, and you don't want to see that. Now my yellow is on the top, which means it is now the pattern. Green is below it, which means it is now the core. And that's a way to check. If you know what's supposed to be the core, it should be on the bottom. So now I do 4 picot, 4 picot, 4. Pull that nice and taut so that I do not have a gap between my elements. 1, 2, 3, 4. Picot. Give myself some more space. 2, 3, 4. Picot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull that chain up nice and snug, and it arches. The outside of the arch is on the knot side of the pattern. Turn it upside down and repeat 4 more times. 3 more times, I'm sorry. So that we have a total of 5 rings. I'm going to take my crochet hook and work my tail back through that arch so that it will be out of the way. Then when I'm finished, I'll just pull it out again. Nice and snug against my chain. 1, 2, whoops. Made too many stitches. It's supposed to be 1, 2, and then a picot. So I take out that 1 stitch, half a stitch. Picot, 1, 2, join to the second to the last picot of the previous ring. One, 2, picot, 1, 2, picot, 1, 2, picot, 2. So I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picots. Right. Close the ring. Reverse my work. You could think of it as reversing the roll of your threads. It was a pattern thread, now it's a core thread. It's reversed its roll. And I pull that ring up nice and snug, so I work its way open a little bit. 1, See how that's twisting on me? When the thread yarn gets twisty, if you let it twist on itself, look at the direction in which it's going. See, this is going, I don't know if you can really see it, it's going counterclockwise. So that means I want to spin my bobbin counterclockwise a couple of times. Now it won't kink, at least for a little while. My knot here was too loose and it slipped right on over the previous pattern, so I just pulled it back into place. 1, 2, 3, 4, right, picot belongs here. I now have 5 rings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm ready to do the last set of a ring and a chain. And this last ring, we're going to join to the previous ring and to the first ring. Behave yourself. Now that I'm ready to join, I have to pull that work back out from where I had tucked it out of my way. Make sure everything is going in the right direction. That last chain was twisted. So make sure everything's right. Join to the previous ring. Come up from below. Push that out of the way. 1, 2, 1, 2, and now we join to the second picot of the first ring. One, 2, 1, 2, and we close. This is the 6th ring, so we want to make sure we don't have anything twisted that shouldn't be. Reverse our work by turning it upside down. What was pattern becomes core. One, 2, 3, 4. Picot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Picot. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I did it again, very loose, and that pulled up over the others. Just simply pull it back where it belongs. Now we cut off, leaving ourselves plenty of room for tying knots. And we're going to tie green to green, because those are the same threads with which we started, and yellow to yellow. I do want to show you the reefs knot or square knot that is used frequently. A square knot goes right over left, left over right, and see how the same thread goes in and out, or identical same knot, left over right, and then right over left. Now the square knot has a weakness. If you grab the same thread and pull it, it'll turn the other thread into a lark's head knot. So what I do to make that harder to happen is I tie right over left. When I do my left over right, my second one, I don't go around just once, I go around twice. And then I pull the stitch in. This makes it more stable and harder to pull the stitch into a lark's head knot. Not impossible, but harder. It is slightly larger, but it's not enough larger that you're going to notice. And it does make a much more stable knot to double twist the second half of the square knot. Let me untie that. So now I'm going to tie the square knot. We're going to tie the threads to the same threads to each other. And here it's easy to see which is which because green goes to green and yellow goes to yellow. When I'm doing a big project and I have a lot of stitches, a lot of knots to tie, I'll take a little piece of cork board and pin it as if I were working with macrame. So, right over left. Pull that in nice and snug. Now this is another reason for having a nice long tail, because I don't have to disturb that first half of the knot to get the second half ready. Left over right, twist it twice, pull it up tight, nice and tight. Then I pull up my other threads. That's this side, this one's this side. And for some reason, I'm more comfortable right now doing left over right first. One of it might be that the left one is shorter, and I can make a nice big loop with the right one. Pull it up nice and snug. Nice loop with the right one. With now the left one. Twist it twice. Pull it up nice and snug, just about as tight as I can. And at those distances, the thread is quite strong enough. I'm not going to glue this until I finish that, because the glue needs to sit for an hour or so. So I'm going to cut the tails off a bit so that they are not in my way as I begin tatting round 2. And I leave those little bits of tail on there because I haven't glued it yet. And if you cut that knot really close before you glue it, it's going to come loose. I promise. One book that I read says to take the ends and use a needle and sew it up through the pattern stitches. I haven't successfully done that yet. So you will see when we finish that you almost can't even see those stitches. This completes round 1 of the pattern. In the next video, I'll demonstrate round 2. Thank you for watching. Have a good day, and God bless.